protest of the incarceration of Japanese American citizens during World War II. All three cases were upheld as good law. Dr. Joshuan Takano Chambers-Letson spoke about this one-man play at the 2014 National Asian American Theater Festival and Conference.
It is common when reviewing the injustice of the Japanese American concentration camps to understand it as a miscarriage of justice and a failure of law. I believe that this is a mistaken approach to the problem. There are very good reasons for believing in the rule of law and for conceiving of the law as a source of remedy for racial injustice. The idea of rule of law sounds nice. A series of mechanical provisions that assure that everyone has equal access to rights, protections, liberty, and justice. But the law is a series of rules and norms. It is filled with interpretive gaps. I quote Marx and Engels: jurisprudence, ruling class. Why am I saying this today? 2 days ago, a young black man was shot in St. Louis. The police claim they have ballistics evidence proving that the young man was shooting at the police. Witnesses claim he was carrying a sandwich. A few months before this, as we all know, a young man named Mike Brown was shot by white police officer Darren Wilson. Again and again, I heard calls for the Ferguson police to be answerable to the law. Meanwhile, we watched as tanks, tear gas, rubber bullets, and militarized police were called out against the very people they were sworn to protect. We saw the insanity of mass arrests of peaceful protesters, alongside the harassment of the press, and all the while, people around me were asking, where is the law? And promising that the police would eventually have to answer to the law. And then, Ferguson was over. And while there will be a formal civil rights inquiry by the Justice Department, I don't think any of us think for any second that any of the leaders responsible for declaring war on a suburb will be indicted on a single charge. I think most of us expect Darren Wilson to walk without ever being charged with the murder of a young man. Why? Because when people ask, where is the law? The answer is, this is the law. The law is the finger that pulled the bullet and killed Mike Brown in cold blood. The law is the men in tanks terrorizing the protesters at Ferguson. The law is the thing that allows Sabrina Fulton to go to bed every night knowing that her little boy, Trayvon, was murdered, and his murderer walks free. Before George Zimmerman, the law is the thing that allowed Vincent Chin's murderers to walk free. The law is the thing that allowed the dispossession and incarceration of Japanese Americans during World War II, that affected the exclusion of Chinese immigrants from entry into the U.S., that barred Asian immigrants from owning land, and that kept a group of innocent Uyghur men in Guantanamo until late last year. These were not aberrations in the law or a miscarriage in justice. This is the law functioning as it was designed.
Hello.
This is what the rule of law looks like.